Forgetting the prime directive of soaps. Show us, don't tell us. We hear all about Doug's memorial service. Joey has the decency not to attend the service, but catches up with Vanessa afterwards to check on the unraveling widow. Their veiled conversation is interrupted by Leslie, who introduces herself. At the country club, Eva, urged on by her mom, approaches Tomas's table. They have an honest talk in which he admits he crossed a line he shouldn't have where she's concerned. He's hoping they can still be friends. As Eva is pointing out that his inability to connect with Kat in bed was all on her sister, guess who walks up to their table? Eva goes all in on attacking her rival, but Tomas sticks up for her. Admitting he regrets hurting Eva, he goes on to say that Kat is what he wants. Before leaving, Eva gets in a great parting shot, saying that standing next to Kat, "I feel frigid." Heading home, Eva puts Leslie on blast for giving her awful, terrible, no good, very bad advice. As for Kat and Tomas, they declare their love and then engage in a little public hanky-panky. Donald shows up at the police station to talk to Jacob, revealing that he went to the site of the crash before the service. As the young man is asking if his dad suffered, Marcel, who is at his nearby desk, starts listening in on the conversation. Jacob warns Donald not to let survivor's guilt get the best of him, as no one could have saved Doug. As mom and son are looking at photos from the scene of the accident, Joey is watching video of Doug's final night at the casino. "Looks like I'm going to have to make Detective Marcel Malone disappear," he intones. Joey shows up at the police station to show Donald and Vanessa video of Doug's last night at the casino. What neither realizes is that it's actually not Doug's final time at that table. At Nicole's home, Danny and Chelsea find a moment to gently grill Carlton about his intentions. Admitting he felt Ted's eyes boring through him during the service, Carlton says he wouldn't be anywhere else but by Nicole's side. After spinning a tall tale about how he and Nicole supposedly met, Carlton totally wins over Danny and Chelsea. "I prefer him to the cowardly lion," quips Danny. Before long, Nicole is taking Danny to task for rushing off to marry Andre in Vegas. Chelsea admits she's glad to have her live out loud mom back, but adds that she didn't expect it to be so deafening. Admitting she doesn't always know what she's doing until it's already done, Danny says she's happy and having fun. But Chelsea wants her mom to treat the promise she and Andre made like it means something, because it does. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates. On Thursday, October 9th, 2025, it's about to go off in Fairmont Crest as two volatile ladies trade vocal blows. In Thursday's episode, tensions erupt when Haley and Danny go head-to-head as Bill and Andre clash. This has been building for a while now, and the closeness of Danny and Bill after Chelsea's kidnapping did nothing but further Haley in thinking her husband still wanted his ex and her family's approval. Haley is going to charge around to Danny's house, demanding that she keep away from her husband after searching for Bill there, while Bill is going to meet Andre head-on at Orphe Jean's. The atmosphere is volatile, and this should be amazing. Get the popcorn for this one. In Thursday's episode, Anita offers words of encouragement to her daughter and her grandson. For Nicole, her words are all about embracing the new and letting go of the past, dressing up, feeling like you again, and going on a date. Anita tells Nicole it's okay to move on, and she should. For Martin, her words are meant to give him strength and encourage him not to give up on having Smitty in his life. She might have a thing or two to say on the matter of Martin wanting to turn himself in for his crime in an effort to regain the trust of his husband. This is already a terrible time for Vanessa and her family, but it'll never be okay again until Vanessa tells Donald the truth. In Thursday's episode, Vanessa makes a confession to Donald about her relationship with Joey. Donald is going to ask even more questions once he hears this, and the efforts to dig into his father's death will amplify. How can Donald not put two and two together after that? Soap fans, this is going to get intense. Joey needs Marcel gone. Jacob, Vanessa, and Donald will continue to seek the truth. When Soaps.com recently asked Beyond the Gates fans on Facebook with whom they wanted Greg Vaughn's Mystery Man character would be paired, the responses were nearly unanimous. Shanice! 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 Since Ernestine Johnson's first appearance as the tell-it-like-it-is nurse, she's stolen one scene after another, even managing to turn background acting into attention-getting reaction shots. She is, in short, a gem. And if viewers are right, the show has realized it too, and is about to give her the Days of Our Lives Emmy winner as a new leading man. "Please give this fine specimen to Shanice," Facebooked Sandra Bradley. "Shanice is my only choice," added Gail Banks. "Let her be the lucky one. She deserves love." "He is fine like wine," exclaimed Enid Maynard. "Grab it, Shanice," Griffin Shar concurred, noting that the nurse deserves a good storyline outside of the hospital. Charlie Ann Blazer called Shanice a sweetheart, and I love her quirky sense of humor. She deserves to expand. A few other names were bandied about here and there, mainly Nicole and Vanessa, but one character was suggested as a definite no-go for Vaughans. "Lord, just don't let Ashley know he's in town," wrote Crawford's Claire. "She'd be all over him." Beyond the Gates spoilers suggest a new character is set to join the land of Fairmont Crest. According to Soap Opera Digest, Days of Our Lives and General Hospital alum, Greg Vaughn is slated to join the new CBS soap. Details below. As per a statement from a BTG rep, Vaughn will debut during Season 2 of the daytime drama. However, an exact date was not released. In addition, no details have been provided regarding the character he will play in the show. Beyond the Gates head, writer, creator, and showrunner, Michelle Van Gien did hint at a surprise on the casting front during a TV Insider interview this past August, teasing a male soap veteran joining the show. Val Jean did work with Vaughn during his time as Lucky Spencer on GH from 2003 to 2009. Vaughn was also on Days as legacy character Eric Brady, entering that role in 2012. Eric still does appear in Salem now and again, despite leaving the little town for Paris in the summer of 2024, with longtime love, Nicole Walker, and their son, Jude Brady. In addition to his Duel and GH work, Vaughn also played Diego Gutierrez on The Young and the Restless from 2002 to 2003. In 2018, he scored a Daytime Emmy in the Outstanding Supporting Actor category for his role as Eric Brady. This announcement is off the cusp of a flurry of casting activity recently for BTG. Alex Cheeks recently debuted as Donnell McBride, the son of Vanessa McBride and recently deceased Doug McBride. Plus, a new character is set to appear as actor David Liam Freeby is set to debut as Isaiah Hawthorne, Jacob Hawthorne's brother. Are you excited about Greg Vaughn entering Fairmont Crest? What kind of role do you think he'll play? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, October 8th imply some major moments on the horizon. Vanessa McBride spirals, while Detective Marcel Malone will issue a threat. Plus, Martin Richardson and Bradley "Smitty" Smith will continue to struggle with their reunion. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, October 8th suggest that Vanessa will be given new information that has her reeling. In fact, added teasers note that her friends will worry about her well-being after she receives the info. This must be related to her husband, Doug McBride's passing. But what exactly will Vanessa learn, and will she find out that Joey Armstrong was behind Doug's passing? Speaking of, Marcel will issue a threat to someone. As Jacob Hawthorne seems to always be sus about his partner, will he call Marcel out on something, only for the veteran cop to give him a stern warning? Then again, Smitty is another target of Marcel's because of the investigative article he was planning on writing, so he may receive a threat from the shady police officer. Meanwhile, Smitty and Martin will continue to struggle with their reunion. During the Monday, October 6th episode, Martin was so desperate to win Smitty back, he agreed to turn himself in for the crime he committed years ago. A lot of people worked hard to cover up that crime, Marcel being one of them, so perhaps the detective gives Martin a warning about not coming forward. With that said, if Martin doesn't follow through with his promise, this could place a damper on reunion efforts with Smitty. Plus, the couple must consider what turning Martin in would do to their kids, Samantha Richards and Tyrell Richardson. Is Smitty willing to cut Martin out of the kids' lives, all to clear the air and finally forgive him? The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, October 9th, 2025, suggest that Haley and Danny will get into a heated confrontation, and they're not alone. Bill and Andre will also clash. Both couples have issues. Haley and Bill's marriage is on shaky ground just a few months after their wedding. Meanwhile, Danny and Andre had a quickie marriage, even though they didn't want to commit. Thursday's episode starts on a tense moment as Haley and Danny go head-to-head once again. How many times have these two fought by now? It's hard to keep up with them. Haley is insanely jealous when it comes to her husband and his connection to his ex-wife. She's bound to explode. This fight will undoubtedly end with a stark warning to stay away from her husband. Needless to say, this drama among these couples isn't slowing down anytime soon. Meanwhile, Bill and Andre will also get into their own heated confrontation about Danny. Andre will take it upon himself to remind Bill that Danny is one of the hottest women in the world. He wonders why a fool like Bill let her go. This will get under Bill's collar, which has been a little hot lately. This has us wondering whether Bill still has feelings for Danny. Of course, Andre's words will provoke Bill and could cause him to throw hands. But will he let his anger get the best of him? Could this fight ruin one of these couples for good? Anita offers kind words of support to her daughter and grandson, which comfort them. This encouragement is directed to Nicole, who's been trying to move on from her divorce with Ted. Meanwhile, Martin finds himself at a crossroads in his marriage with Smitty. He wants to fix their marriage, but it might be too late. There's a growing rift between them, and it could be enough to keep them apart. Meanwhile, Vanessa talks to Donald about her relationship with Joey. She may admit that she has mixed feelings for him, which ultimately led to the demise of her marriage to Doug. Will Vanessa finally confess that she and Joey are more than just business partners? What will her son think about his mom sleeping with Joey, even while Doug was alive? If this is the case, this explosive secret could alter their family dynamic. Earlier this week, CBS announced that Days of Our Lives and General Hospital alum Greg Vaughn was set to join Beyond the Gates, and now the actor is speaking out on why the newly created show appeals to him. In an almost 2-minute and 40-second long Instagram post, the soap vet talked about seeing the excitement over his BTG casting. "I'm grateful to all those who have embraced me and shown excitement for me in joining Beyond the Gates. That passion is what keeps daytime alive." He went on to discuss what it means to be on a groundbreaking show like BTG. "I've always believed that storytelling has that power to bring us all together, and to reflect and hear every voice, every walk of life, and the full spectrum of the human experience. All of that is what appealed to him and made it easy to say yes to the CBS soap. For him, BTG tells stories that are deeply human, and that's exactly what drew me in," the young and the restless alum expressed. "And I'm joining Beyond the Gates, in a world that celebrates representation, that has heart, and speaks truth in so many layers. And I'm here to honor that foundation, not replace it." Additionally, Vaughn thanked the cast and the crew for accepting him so warmly. And he thanked the writers for bringing emotion to your living rooms. And finally, he thanked his fans who have followed him as he transitioned from soap to soap, as well as those who tuned in to his primetime shows, including Charmed, Malibu Shores, Beverly Hills, 90210, and Queen Sugar. He ended the video by touching on his hopes for his time on BTG, and seemed to speak directly to fans of the show that focuses on the residents of Fairmont Crest. "This is a new character for me, a new adventure," he said excitedly. "I hope that in time you will embrace me as a part of your family. I love you and thank you from my heart to you." No details on who Vaughn will be playing or when his first air date will be. However, Duel fans will get to see Vaughn soon when Eric Brady pops up in Salem to help celebrate the show's 60th anniversary. The Tuesday, October 7th episode of Beyond the Gates featured Fairmont Crest, DMV residents playing games that dealt with love, life, and death. But nobody played the game better than Joey freaking Armstrong. On Tuesday, BTG checked in with Doug's mourners after the funeral, so we didn't get to see Nicole give her eulogy. And we didn't get to see everybody who showed up for him. Where were Shanice and Jan? The characters that were there reflected on what happened, but we still felt a little bit of that emotion because Vanessa was so distraught, and Nicole and Danny got to be there for her. But who had the gall to show up after the funeral was over? Joey Armstrong. He walked right up to Vanessa after Nicole and Danny had left and said that he wanted to check up on her. He has some serious nerve showing up there after what he did. And then later, he watched footage of the night of Doug's death. And Marcel sat right next to Doug as the man spiraled from depression, drink, and high-stakes poker. Joey sounded menacing when he said it looked like he would have to make Marcel disappear. What he really meant is that he had the shady detective digitally disappeared from the footage. That way, he could act transparent and helpful when he brought the footage to the police station. What the footage on the flash drive showed was Doug looking like a lonely guy on a bender, which resulted in him leaving the casino, driving drunk, and dying. We don't know how many times we'll be saying this for the foreseeable future, but Joey Armstrong is a cold, deceitful, and diabolical man. He's messing with the already tarnished reputation of a doctor who went out in one of the worst ways possible. Joey is so deliciously devilish. It feels like Joey has Vanessa, a normally brilliant and observant individual, snowed. The corrupt casino owner is playing her and her sons so thoroughly, and there was Detective Malone at the station, looking over at Jacob, Vanessa, Donald, and Joey. He didn't seem worried that these people were looking at video from the night Doug died. What is Joey's endgame here? To basically step in and replace Doug? The man had no respect for the cardiologist, and now he's sticking it to Doug more in death than he ever did when the doctor was alive. If that is possible. What did you think of Joey's actions? How about Danny and Chelsea interrogating Carlton? Did we already know that Carlton and Nicole knew each other before she knew Ted? And, yes, what did you think of Kat and Tomas reuniting, as well as Leslie's and Eva's discussion? Let us know in the comments. Greg Vaughn is leaving Salem behind to heat things up on Beyond the Gates. The Days of Our Lives star was spotted on the CBS soap set for a special occasion, and it had fans freaking out. Ever since news broke that Vaughn was playing a yet-to-be-named character on the CBS soap, fans have been sharing who they want him paired with. Vaughn has never struggled with having chemistry with his on-screen partners. BTG fans are taking that into consideration as they express their thoughts on the character who needs to get hot and heavy with Vaughn the second he arrives in Fairmont Crest. It should surprise no one that Nicole is the character fans are screaming to be paired with whoever Vaughn is playing. Exit Ted and Carlton, Nicole's new lover is, shared a fan on X that included a photo of Vaughn and Duplay. Another fan wrote, "Ah, the handsome and talented Greg Vaughn on my favorite soap and paired with Nicole. I'm sat. Bring it on!" Listen, Greg Vaughn can come on and literally sleep with Nicole, Danny, hell, Anita, and I'll watch that sot. Honestly though, I do need my girl Nicole to be first in line, expressed one fan. Even before it was confirmed that Vaughn was joining BTG, fans were shipping him with Nicole. Baby! If Greg Vaughn is on Beyond the Gates, I wouldn't mind a swirl for Nicole. I know I like Carlton, but that's a fling. I need this sexy beast to once again be paired with a fave of mine. If not Nicole, then Danny, stated a fan. There's no question that BTG fans are feeling a pairing between Nicole and Vaughn's mystery character, and we have to agree. Danny already has Andre, and Bill is always circling her despite being married to Haley. Whoever Vaughn is paired with, we are just happy his talents will be utilized, and he will be back on our screens soon. Beyond the Gates. Spoilers for Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, suggest that Martin and Smitty are still struggling in their relationship, as they find themselves with more challenges. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, suggest that Martin and Smitty are at a crossroads in their marriage. They want to move forward, but they continue to get bogged down by the past. Meanwhile, emotions will remain high in the days following Doug's funeral. Vanessa will get more answers about his death, some of which will leave her reeling. Marcel has a warning, but is it too late? Martin and Smitty are struggling to move forward in their relationship. They're still separated, despite recently reconnecting. Martin has a plan to get his husband back. The congressman told Smitty that he's willing to work on himself and turn himself over to the police. He hoped this grand gesture would win Smitty over and bring him back into his life permanently. On Wednesday, look for our favorite couple to struggle to find a clear path forward. Martin's guilt could prevent him from confessing to the authorities. Or could it be something else that's affecting their relationship? Maybe there's something that either of them isn't ready to admit. What's preventing them from reuniting and being a proper family again? Meanwhile, there is growing concern for Vanessa, who is mourning the death of her husband, Doug, who lost his life in a fiery car crash. At first, she had her doubts, as most do when unexpectedly losing their significant other. However, the funeral made everything feel all the more real. This loss is going to affect her for a long time. Vanessa's trying to stay focused, but she experiences crash-outs at times. When she comes across new information, she spirals, causing her friends to worry about her. The emotional fallout from this new piece of information could be soul-crushing. It could cause her to regress further. How will her friends step in and save her? Detective Marcel Malone and his shady alliance with Joey Armstrong have led to some very unfortunate events, including Doug's death, allegedly. He has also been known to give Detective Jacob Hawthorne a very jaded view of life as a veteran cop. Unless there's something we don't know, the man is biding his time collecting his dirty money so he can retire in style. According to the spoilers, Marcel issues a dire warning. Who is on the business end of this warning, and what is the warning about? On Beyond the Gates, Marcel Malone thinks his boss is protecting him, but little does Teemu Shaft know that his end could be met at the hands of the man he was once going to kill. The return of Randy Parker to Beyond the Gates was just what the show needed. He wasn't able to save his bestie, Doug McBride, from his fate, but there is a chance for revenge and to get the two birds with one stone, redeem himself in the eyes of his boss, Joey Armstrong. When Randy left town with the help of Vanessa and Doug, bargaining for his life, we didn't think we would see him again. Nor did Randy think he would have the opportunity to repay the debt and exact some revenge so quickly. Doug was going to go after Joey and confide in Bill Hamilton about what he wanted to do. After Bill ratted him out to Joey, less than an hour later, things were set in motion that couldn't be undone. Joey took Vanessa out of town to establish his alibi and left the details in the capable hands of Detective Marcel Malone. Malone made sure that Doug's death looked like a drunk driving accident and a fatal crash. But now, as the investigation continues, Joey is looking at his options, and while reviewing the casino CCTV footage with his security team, he decides that he needs to make Malone disappear. It was a tense scene when Randy returned to the casino and his old boss for the first time since skipping town, and he paid back what he stole with 100% interest. Still, Joey was hesitant to trust the man again after failing an assignment to give a busboy the South Park treatment and stealing the money intended as bait. The pair talked, and they reunited as boss and employee, noting that there would be no more chances, and Randy needed to restore the trust. What an opportunity now for Randy. Malone was the one given orders in front of Randy to kill him and dispose of the body, and now, if Randy was to take out Malone and teach him how to Dougie, that would go a long way to showing Joey that he could be relied upon and give the man in black some much-needed satisfaction. Speaking of which, when is this guy going to get a love interest? I can feel a petition coming. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. In Wednesday's episode, Vanessa's friends have reason to be concerned for her well-being while she is left reeling after spotting some new information. Vanessa is going through a lot. And it's not only Nicole who's aware of her relationship with Joey. Many have seen the two together, and that makes everyone uneasy. No one is under any illusions about what the man does and is capable of. And with new information being discovered, perhaps Vanessa, too, will catch on to what her latest beau is really about. Vanessa knows nothing about the murder hiring he's done recently, but finding out could put her at just as much risk. The discovery of new information regarding her husband's death by Vanessa and Martin wanting to come clean about his crime both threaten not only Joey, but also his right-hand man, Marcel. Marcel is eyeing up retirement and wants to stay out of jail to enjoy his ill-gotten gains. So in Wednesday's episode, Marcel issues a dire warning. Marcel will go to any lengths for his boss, and to prevent the pair from enjoying steel bracelets and the hospitality of federal prison. Martin and Smitty have been back and forth with who's currently being cold to the other, and neither are in a good place with accepting the other and moving on. Martin's epiphany and sudden desire to turn himself in and pay for his crime and win back the trust in the relationship poses many dangers, but also may not be what Smitty wants at all. That alone would provide more disruption to the family than anything else has thus far. In Wednesday's episode, Martin and Smitty struggle to find a path forward. Hopefully the advice Ted gave can be a good starting point for them both to sit down and talk it through. We are not out of the woods yet, soap fans. And how about the look on Anita and Vernon's face as the construction started almost immediately across the road? Beyond the gates, casting news stirs excitement as Greg Vaughn has joined the cast of the Atlanta-based CBS soap opera. We're going to talk about what role he may be playing and what the head writer said about his casting. So, we got a tease on this casting a couple of months ago. Then we got a little more when Marcel, Vaughans, co-creator and showrunner, handed out some fall preview spoilers. But it started back in July when Marcel Vaughans said that there was a surprise down the road that fans will like. She said that there's going to be a hot male joining the cast that longtime soap fans will know and love. So, if he was related to Vanessa McBride, he could maybe be her brother who comes to town, shows up for her husband Doug McBride's funeral, and then sticks around because she's in crisis. I think that would be interesting. I have enjoyed a lot of the new characters that they keep adding, and so I'm sure they've done a great job creating something original for Greg Vaughn. The other things on my wish list for him is that we get to see Greg Vaughn shirtless as much as possible. He's so buff. I also hope he gets to keep that gorgeous facial hair. I love his beard, and I really, really hope he plays an intensely hot but very, very bad man. That's why I'm kind of hoping he's an Armstrong. We'll see how it goes. But again, Greg Vaughn has mostly played nice guys, so I'm actually hoping that Marcel Vaughans is going to do something quite different with him. I think it would be super fun if Greg Vaughn turned up, say, as Joey Armstrong's son and is another bad guy thug, a chip off the old horrible block. I think it'd also be really fun if he were Joey's son and stole Vanessa from his dad. But we could see Greg Vaughn as somebody who's related to Vanessa. There's not a ton of white families on the show, but he may also just be a freestanding character and not assigned to one of the known families. Now on GH and Days of Our Lives, he did play a mostly nice guy, and he was pretty nice when he did a turn on Young and the Restless as Diego. Bizarrely, Y&R had Greg Vaughn playing a Cuban character. Very strange. Bold and the Beautiful is the only soap he's not done, by the way. He also appeared on Queen Sugar, Charmed, and a ton of Christmas movies. This is a face that you'll know even if you haven't watched Days or General Hospital. I guarantee you're going to know who Greg Vaughn is. He is an honest-to-goodness hunky-hunk. Quite a talented actor, too. So, it's official. Greg Vaughn is in Atlanta. He's on the set. He's filming. He should be making his debut soon. I'm wondering if we're going to get him for November Sweeps, which kicks off on October 30th. Or maybe even sooner. It kind of depends on who he's playing. And that is the big question. Who is Greg Vaughn going to play? You know, as a newer soap, there's all sorts of options for him. They can create characters left and right. If you ever watched GH back in the 2000s, the mid-2000s, you'll know that he took on the role of Lucky Spencer, the legacy son of the famed Luke Spencer and Laura Spencer on General Hospital. So, back then, Greg Vaughn assumed the role of Lucky Spencer from Jonathan Jackson, and his most recent soap role was playing Eric Brady over on Days of Our Lives. Now Greg Vaughn actually has more appearances coming in November on Days, but that will not interfere in any way with him working on Beyond the Gates, because those scenes for Days shot early this year, like January or February, because the Peacock soap shoots 7 to 9 months in advance. It's kind of insane. And now it's confirmed that the hottie with the body coming to BTG is the very handsome Greg Vaughn. And if you wonder how this casting happened, well, I'm sure part of it is that Marcel Vaughans has known Greg Vaughn for years, just like how she knows John Lindstrom, who plays bad guy Joey Armstrong. That comes from when they both worked over at General Hospital. Him as an actor, her as a writer, and that's also how Michelle knows Greg Vaughn. Haley's storyline on Beyond the Gates has taken a shocking turn. After opening up about her longing for motherhood and the heartbreak of losing her own baby, her behavior is becoming more alarming by the day. With Naomi's pregnancy now in full swing, whispers are spreading that Haley's next move could cross a line no one ever imagined, and it might just change everything for Fairmont Crest. From the moment Haley shared her pregnancy news, Danny didn't believe a word of it. She demanded Haley take a test in front of her, but Haley refused. Soon after, Haley complained of painful cramps and reluctantly let Danny take her to the hospital, where she avoided getting an ultrasound. From the moment Haley shared her pregnancy news, Danny didn't believe a word of it. She demanded Haley take a test in front of her, but Haley refused. Soon after, Haley complained of painful cramps and reluctantly let Danny take her to the hospital, where she avoided getting an ultrasound. A few days later, she showed Bill what turned out to be a fake sonogram, something Naomi later discovered. Haley told Naomi she had been terrified of finding out the truth and begged her not to tell Bill. Not long after, Haley claimed she had miscarried. She said she tripped over boxes at the office, started bleeding, and was rushed to the hospital, but she refused Danny's help and asked a stranger named Sammy to drive her instead. When she told Bill she'd lost the baby, he was devastated, and Haley leaned on that grief to keep him close. Even after the alleged miscarriage, Haley continued to act as though nothing had changed. And now, her attention soon shifted toward Naomi's pregnancy. Fans are now convinced that Haley's miscarriage wasn't real and that she's secretly planning to steal Naomi's baby. With her growing obsession with motherhood and her history of deceit, the theory doesn't seem far-fetched. The speculation goes that Haley will pretend to be pregnant again, then take Naomi's newborn and pass the baby off as her own. Viewers suspect Naomi might be led to believe her baby died, while Haley raises the child in secret. It's cruel, twisted, and perfectly in line with Haley's manipulative streak. The most shocking part? If the theory holds true, Bill would end up raising his own grandchild, thinking it's his and Haley's baby. Fans have pointed out that Naomi only recently said she wanted to stay child-free, which makes this sudden pregnancy and Haley's fixation even more suspicious. Whether it's coincidence or setup, Beyond the Gates seems to be paving the way for one of its biggest bombshells yet. Whatever happens next, it's clear that Haley's obsession is about to explode. Her desperation to build the perfect family and to hold on to Bill could push her into doing the unthinkable. Naomi, meanwhile, remains completely unaware of the danger surrounding her. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for all the latest twists, turns, and spoilers from Beyond the Gates. The news broke earlier this week that daytime veteran Greg Vaughn has joined the cast of Beyond the Gates in a mystery role. Now, the actor is speaking out about the new gig, issuing a heartfelt message of gratitude both to fans and to his new colleagues at the CBS Sudser. Vaughn is no stranger to the soap world, having made his debut in the medium on Young and Restless, where he portrayed Diego Gutierrez from 2002 to So3. From there, he moved to General Hospital, playing Lucky Spencer, and finally, he landed on Days of Our Lives playing Eric Brady in 2012, which he has played on and off ever since, and for which, in 2018, he took home the Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actor. Addressing the passionate fans who have followed his career both in and out of the daytime realm for so many years, Vaughn shared in an Instagram video, "Well, it's out. The official announcement from me to you. I've seen it, I've heard it. All the excitement and the reactions, the pride, even the tough conversations. And I respect all of it. I'm grateful to everyone who's embraced me and shared in the excitement about me joining Beyond the Gates." The actor went on to declare, "That passion is what keeps daytime alive. I've always believed storytelling has the power to bring us together, to reflect, to hear every voice, every walk of life, and the full spectrum of the human experience. Beyond the Gates was created to tell stories that are layered and diverse, stories that are human, deeply human. That's exactly what drew me in." BTG made history when it debuted this past February. Not only as the first new hour-long drama to enter the soap opera landscape, since the now-defunct Passions hit the airwaves in 1989, but also because it is the first hour-long soap ever to feature a predominantly black cast. The significance of that was clearly not lost on Vaughn, who said, "I'm joining Beyond the Gates and stepping into a world that celebrates representation, that has heart and speaks truth on so many levels. And I'm here to honor that foundation, not replace it." Vaughn had nothing but kind words to say about the people he's working with at BTG, both in front of and behind the camera. "I'm grateful for this cast, who have embraced me so warmly," he said. "The crew, for their personal acknowledgement and their respect for the work we as actors do, and for the work I've done. And to our writers, thank you for creating, for speaking, for giving us the words to bring emotion into your living rooms." The actor also gave a special shout-out to the fans. "I'm grateful to the audience who make what we do so special," Vaughn said, adding, "I just want to keep lifting everyone up, each and every one of us, as we celebrate every story told. I'm excited for all the fans who've stood behind me and supported me over the decades, from Daytime, from Y&R to General Hospital, to Days of Our Lives, from my primetime work on charmed Malibu shores, 902 and Queen Sugar." The show has yet to reveal what role Vaughn will be playing when he makes his debut, but the actor enthused, "This is a new character for me, a new adventure, one I'm genuinely excited to embrace. And I hope that you, in time, will embrace me as part of your family. I love you and thank you, from my heart to yours." In the comment section,